I'm Lynn Kinter, the lead botanist for the Idaho Department of Fish and Game.
For all the people that are wondering, do I have this in my yard? How do you identify you?
Well, there are several types of evergreen shrubs found in Boise. Many are conifers, so they'll have little pine cones on them, which I can show you in a minute. But the yew has a red berry. Now this is kind of dried up. It's ordinarily more fleshy, but this time most of the berries have either dried up or fallen off the plants. And the little red berry has an opening in the bottom in which you can see the seed. And that's the only berry you'll find around here that has an opening like that, where you can see the poisonous seed inside. It also has flat evergreen leaves that are about 1 inch long and about 1/8 of an inch wide and pointed on the ends. I had to look really hard to find one berry left. Most of them have fallen off.
Okay.
And there are male shrubs that have no berries. They just produce pollen. So even in the summer and fall, you won't find the berries on the male shrubs.
And what's poisonous within the plant? Is it just the berry? Is it the whole plant?
These leaves are poisonous, the stems are poisonous, and the seed inside the berry is poisonous. The spruce has very pointy needles. They aren't flat like the yew. And many people in Boise and across southern Idaho have spruce leaves or spruce trees or shrubs in their yard. You can see there's just a difference in the leaf shape. And spruce also has some dark brown cones with papery scales. So spruce cones look very different from the red berries of the yew. One other plant that they might confuse it with is juniper, and there are lots of junipers, trees and shrubs in landscaping around Idaho, but they have a blue berry and they have scale-like leaves. Juniper leaves are much narrower and scale-like compared to the flat leaves of yew. If someone doesn't want to remove it, they can put burlap around the plants until the animals have migrated away, until the big game have migrated away, and uncover them, or if they have a secure fenced area. But sometimes, often, animals can get in the fences. You can cover the shrub with burlap and try to seal it off so that the animals can't get access to it. This is far too big for the burlap that I have, but it'll do for a demo, I think. I'm going to use clothespins to hold it up initially until I get it pinned in place. You can use staples to hold it into the ground, or you can even use old clothes. You can even use coat hangers to weave the fabric together or pin the fabric together effectively. Something like we'll be starting up here and down through there, which is not so easy to do, but there it goes. And then I would use additional burlap and bring it down to the ground, and then use staples to pin it into the ground. Use these landscape staples to pin it, so that they can't get underneath. But I use clothespins initially just to help me hold it in place. And any of these kinds of loose branches that are sticking out the top, you can either close it or prune them off. Just be sure when you prune them, you dispose of them in a safe landfill, because the dry branches are poisonous as well. And so if they don't want to cover it with burlap, and they just want to get rid of it, they can cut it down, prune the branches off and cut it off, and just be sure it all goes into the safe landfill. The material does, because the dead pruned branches are also toxic. They can dig it out in the spring from the roots, because it will resprout from the roots even if it's just cut off. So by digging the roots out, they won't have to worry about this resprouting. And they can use herbicide to kill it, which will prevent the resprouting. That takes a while though. And the plant is still going to be poisonous even when it's dead, standing there dead. So person needs to take care that animals don't have access, or their pets don't have access to the plant. Then,
As a botanist and knowing what you know today, would you have one of these in your yard?
I'm going to take mine out.
Yeah.
I have one. Even though I'm not in a what might not be a dangerous part of town, but I do have a dog that loves to chew on sticks, and so I'm going to remove it.